Hey babe, wake up. Better Than Adventure 7.1 just dropped.
Hello?
Nah, but for real. The update is finally here. The long awaited, massive update for Better Than Adventure. It has been in the makings for a while now, but it is here. And it has added tons of features. I may throw them up on screen now, but you don't need to read that because I am going to show you. So, the first thing that they have added are toggleable game rules. That is right. We now have keep inventory, allow sprinting, which allows you to actually sprint. So let's just go ahead and check that out real quick. So type slash game rule and then allow sprinting and then set that to true. So now check it out. I know it's so cursed. I am running in freaking beta Minecraft. Like, can you believe this? Because I cannot. It feels cursed. I'm gonna turn it off now. I don't like it. All right, but it is a thing. If you need to sprint to enjoy beta Minecraft, here you go. As you can see, there's also allow sleeping. This basically makes it so that beds will only set your spawn, but it will not allow you to skip the night. After that, we have do nightmares. Now, in beta Minecraft 1.7, nightmares are a a feature that basically whenever you try to sleep in a bed and you don't have appropriate lighting and shelter, you will end up with a mob spawning and waking you up. Better Than Adventure actually disables nightmares by default, but they have added a game rule to re-enable them. And then after the nightmares, we have do seasonal growth. The H is missing. Don't mind that. There is supposed to be an H there. I just ran out of room. That basically allows you to enable and disable the like grass and flowers from spawning during the seasons like spring and summer. After that, we have Recapitator, which is a very interesting game rule to add. So let's go ahead and check this out real quick. Slash game rule Recapitator true. All right, so let's go ahead and try this out real quick. Let me just go into creative. All right, so let's see how well this. Oh, I should probably switch back to survival so that I can actually punch the trees. So let's punch the bottom tree here, and nothing happens. All right, well, maybe you need a axe for this to work. Let's go ahead and try this out real quick. Let me just make an axe. All right, now that I got an axe, you would think I would have prepared for all this and figured out how all this works, but I'm recording at 2 a.m. as always. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So it does seem that it uses a durability for each block that it does end up breaking, which is to be expected. It would be pretty awkward if it didn't do that. But let me head back over to the island and continue showing you guys the other game modes. After that, we have Dwarf mode. Yes, you're probably wondering, what the hell is Dwarf mode? Well, let me show you. This one's actually pretty fun. So if we type slash game rule dwarf mode, if I could spell dwarf properly and set it to true, yes, as you can see, you get squished into a little 1 block tall dwarf. And yes, you can actually fit in 1 block gaps, as you can see here. Pretty fun. It's kind of a goofy little mode, but it could be interesting to try it out one day as like a playthrough. But who knows? Now let me try and cure my dwarfism. If I can, there we go. After that, we have mob griefing, which is what you would expect from vanilla Minecraft, same as daylight cycle, which enables and disables the time from changing. Now that we got the boring stuff out of the way, let's look into some new blocks and other additions. For starters, we have paper walls, which are made with, you guessed it, paper. You have both the actual paper wall block as well as a paper wall fence here, which, as you can see, you can make little flags with it, although we already have flags. You could probably make like a windmill of sorts with this. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things you could do with this. You can create like room dividers in your rooms. I don't know. I'm not the creative one. That's your all's job. All right. After that, we have a massive change. Not really a massive change, but it is in my eyes. We have boat controls have been revamped. That is right. Let me show you here. Now, you know how in modern... Oh, that's my bad boat. Now, you know how in modern Minecraft they reworked the boat controls, but in older versions of Minecraft, using the boat was very clunky. It turned slow. It was just horrible. But now, check this out. The boat actually turns so much better than it did prior to 7.1. Oh my god, look at this. Move out the way, chicken. Move out the way, squiddies. Alright, that is that. Now we also have here some bamboo, oh my god, sugarcane blocks. So as you can see here, blocks of sugarcane, which is made with 9 sugarcane, and we also have a baked block of sugarcane. That is correct. You can cook them into other variants of blocks for you to build with. But alright, let me just clear my inventory. It's getting a bit dirty. Now, moving on from the sugarcane, let's look at the trommel. Yes, soul sand and clay blocks are now trommable. Trommelable. That is correct. So now you can just throw soul sand in here as well as clay. And as you can see, it'll spit out different things like flint and what have you, gunpowder. I'm just going to let this run and allow myself to leave a bit of a carbon footprint of sorts. Now, here's another awesome change. Pumpkins are now farmable, but they don't work to how they do in vanilla Minecraft. Let me show you. So let's take the pumpkin seeds and get some bone meal to grow them. Now, as you can see, when you place the pumpkin seeds down, you get this little leafy bit, which is different from the traditional Minecraft like stem. And then after this grows, it just turns into a pumpkin. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yes, pumpkins are now farmable in Better Than Adventure. Next, we have another thing that is now farmable, and that is cocoa beans. Yes, with the new cacao trees, they will grow cocoa beans during the summer. At the moment, it is spring, I believe, so they're not really blossoming, but please take my word for it that this does grow cocoa beans. And I should also note that you will find cacao trees rarely in jungles. We have another change here. They simplified the map recipe. So instead of requiring 8 paper and a compass, it now just requires 9 paper, and it will give you a map. It's a pretty simple change. I kind of understand it. It doesn't really make sense that it would have a compass, although, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. Let's be honest. Another nice change is jars can now be placed and flowers can be put in them. That is correct. So now you can right click to place some jars on the ground and you can also fill them up with flowers. Did you look at that? How nice. It's a nice alternative to clay pots. Alright. Moving on. We also have items now pass through spawners. Yes, that is correct. As you can see here, whenever I throw an item in here, it is passing through the spawner and actually heading into the basket that I have placed below it. As you can see here, when I right click the basket, I got the items that fell through it. Alright, next, they have added individual textures uh, for each variation of colored planks, colored chests, and lamps. Now they look the same here. I believe I didn't notice any difference, so what I'm assuming they mean is in the actual texture files, they can be altered individually now, which I'm assuming they weren't able to prior to this update. So that is a nice change. Next, added a line tool to the flag editor GUI. Yes, that is correct. Let me just grab some dye here. and show you guys. Let's put some dye in there. And as you can see, at the bottom here, we have these buttons here that would allow you to draw some things. But now we can make lines. Look at that. It creates, if you left click and hold, it will draw this little ghost line for you that will show you what will appear when you let go of left click. But yeah. So that's a nice little change. So gonna allow people to make some even more intricate designs more easily with the flag banners. Oh my god. I have made a bit of a mess. Alright, that is not all of the changes though. Although those are pretty much all of the new actual additions to the game. Now, if we look here, and let's pause the game and open up options. As you can see, the options menu has had a complete rework. It looks much cleaner now. You also have actual sliders for a lot of things now. Um, Same with the tooltip style. Instead of it being a thing that you click through, you actually have a slider. We also have the edit HUD option. So this allows you to move your HUD to different areas of your screen. So as you can see here, I'm going to move my hotbar to the top of my screen and I'm going to hit done. Now, how cursed is that? Like, oh my god, that feels weird as hell. In all my years of playing Minecraft, I never thought I would see the technology make it this far, but it has. All right, but I want to move it back to where it is supposed to be. There we go. And something I actually just realized I forgot to show you guys is we actually have sittable seats. I walked over here when showing you the cacao tree, but yeah, look at this. We have actual seats that we can sit in now. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, I'm a bit stuck. Now, I don't know if you can dye these things. Let's see. You cannot. So it seems like the seats are just kind of stuck red. I think it would be nice to see the ability to dye the seats different colors in the future, but I'm thankful that we have the technology to sit now. Like all this standing's got to be bad for my knees. Do I don't really have knees. Alright, well, I'm not a doctor. Now, another change that they have made is they increased the spawn rate of wolves. So now it's going to be much easier to find wolves in your world. So I didn't know. Oh wow, that looks pretty sick. Holy shit. All right, let's not get off topic now. But I've noticed that wolves were pretty rare. Like I haven't seen any in my world, and I'm almost 100 days in. I haven't really looked for them, but I definitely have not seen a single one. So now maybe with this update, we will be able to actually find wolves. Another amazing change. Now, this is one of my favorite changes in this entire update. If we hit R, check this out. We have a revamped Better Than Adventure guidebook with this sleek new cover. It looks like an actual book, as well as different tabs. So we have a table of contents here, and this will show you things like crafting, smelting, blast smelting, trommeling, as well as creatures. Now that is interesting. So it tells you what they drop. It tells you, it gives you a little description, gives you their health and the amount of score that you get whenever you kill them or unalive them. Sorry, YouTube. But yeah, this is very nice. You can also search things. So like in my world, I remember looking for steel, trying to figure out how to make it because I forgot, and it took me like a good minute or so to find it. But now, look at that, nice and simple. I can just search for it, and there it is. Now, there have also been quite a few changes to the world generation itself. For example, they vastly reworked biome distribution. So, biomes generate much more fairly and are smaller as a whole, though they can still generate very large. Now, Better Than Adventure made the biomes compared to normal beta 1.7.3 much bigger. Um, but yeah, now they're going to be a bit smaller. Although the scale for them hasn't changed. Like they can still generate really big, but they will be a bit smaller on average now. Snow biomes are also much more frequent now, so that is nice because who doesn't like a nice little snow biome? After that, noon and midnight are now always 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. across seasons. So with each season comes different time frames. So like in the summer, you have longer days but shorter nights. In the winter, you have the opposite. But now, with each season, whenever you look up and the sun is at the at the peak, it will be synced up for each season. Now, rich scorched dirt also now properly generates in the outback, and newly loaded chunks in winter now spawn fully snow covered. Now, I don't really know how I feel about that change. It sounds good in theory, but like if I'm traveling from one area to another, it's kind of gonna look weird. It's like when I'm traveling in the new chunks, like especially if I've explored only certain chunks. Like let's say there was like some one random chunk that was left ungenerated, and then I was exploring. Now that it's winter, when I encounter that chunk, it is just gonna be one chunk with snow. Now it may not end up working that way in practice, but that that change I'm not sure I really necessarily agree with. And also in other seasons the snow will melt instantly. So no more snow sticking around after the winter. Now, let's go ahead and quit to the main menu because there are some other changes that I want to show you guys. So if I go to create new world and I go to world type, you will see right down here we now have a new world type. They added an in-dev level generator. So let's go ahead and boot up a world with this terrain. Oh my god, you even get the little hut. How nice is that? So does it actually like spawn you on like a single island here? Like is this basically a survival island? And if so, does the ocean go on forever? I'm gonna have to find out, but this video is already getting a bit long, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys to figure that one out. Now let's go ahead and go back to the title, and you will also see that we have world and seed name randomizer. So I can click this button and you kind of get a random name similarly to the same feature in Terraria. And you can do the same with your seed. You can randomize that bad boy, and you can also see what your seed is before you actually generate the world, which I feel like is a very nice addition. Now let's head back into the update world and show you guys a couple new options that they added. If I go to video, you will see that they added an FPS limiter. Now I personally limit my FPS with NVIDIA control panel, but it's nice that people now have the option to limit their FPS in game. Now, another really cool feature is if we look at this here, if I just clutter my inventory and I middle click, okay, it's not working now, but I swear to God that it was working earlier. I don't know what is happening. It may be a bug, like 7.1 did just release, so it's probably going to receive some patches in the future. And maybe it only works in survival. Let me see real quick. So I'm pretty sure I was in survival when I tried it earlier. Yep, okay. So it only sorts your inventory in survival, but still, very nice feature. Another great change is bindable mouse buttons. So my zoom key used to be on the C key, but now I have it on my mouse button, which is a very cool change because I remember when I first installed Better Than Adventure, I was kind of upset that I couldn't do that. But it's nice to see that it was actually properly added. They also added keybinds for hotbar slots, as you can see down here. We also have a new gamma toggle hotkey that toggles with G, or that is bound to G by default. So as you can see, you can quickly increase your gamma on the fly, which is very nice. Also, you can type the slash key, and the slash will now open up chat as well as just hitting T to chat, even in single player. We also have a new emoticon selector here, so you can actually like type little Minecraft emojis in chat, which is very nice. You could already do that, I'm pretty sure, but this is an easier way of actually accessing these features. Now, if we go to the main menu once again and head over to multiplayer, we will see that, check this out, we now have a ping indicator as well as a player indicator. And there was actually one more change to the guidebook, and that is if you hover over an item and press R, it will now open up the page for that item in the guidebook. So as you can see, to make bone meal, it obviously requires a bone. But yeah, that was pretty much all the major changes that were included in the latest version of Better Than Adventure. There are a lot of other minor tweaks and adjustments to the game, but yeah, that was the most important ones that people like me and you will care about the most. Although there were also a lot of changes for people like modders or texture pack creators, things like that. Like for example, recipes are now saved to a JSON file, I believe, which allows people to create recipe packs. I don't know what that entails, but I'm assuming people can add new recipes to the game or something, or alter recipes. I'm not sure. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little peek at the latest update of Better Than Adventure. I would like to do these in the future, but it'll probably end up being like a once a year thing at this rate because it's not like this gets very many updates. But if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.